So I was just sitting here rewatching some of those early Tempest episodes before new season, and man, did you see Gobta's face in that one specific scene? He isn't just knocked out, he looks like he's literally meeting his ancestors right now. His soul is basically hovering 6 inches above his body, just waving goodbye to the physical realm. We are way past the point of just bad cooking here. At this stage, what Shion is doing is a straight-up violation of the Geneva Convention. Seriously, just look at that purple steam rising off the plate. Is it actually moving on its own? It honestly looks like it's trying to crawl back into the pot just to escape its own existence. I've seen some pretty terrifying monsters in this show, beings like the orc disaster that could level a whole city, but none of them look as fundamentally threatening as whatever Shion just put on that table. It's glowing. Why is it glowing? Soup shouldn't have a literal radioactive aura, but here we are, and I'm genuinely concerned for everyone's safety. But here is where things get actually terrifying if you stop and think about it for more than a second. We've been laughing at this as a recurring gag for the longest time, right? Like, oh, there goes Shion again, making another bowl of poisonous sludge. It's the classic anime trope of the girl who can't cook, and we just accept it. But if you look closer at what's happening to the world around her as the story moves forward, it stops being a joke. It starts feeling like Shion is a fundamental glitch in the laws of physics. It's like the world didn't know how to handle someone so confident yet so disastrously bad at seasoning, so the universe itself just decided to break its own rules to make it work. You can almost see the logic of the world crying in the background every time she picks up a ladle and starts stirring with that "I know exactly what I'm doing" look on her face. The weirdest part, and the part that genuinely makes me nervous for the future of the series, is when that announcement system kicks in. You know the one, that voice of the world that usually only talks when someone is evolving or gaining a massive power-up. Did you catch that notification on the UI during the Harvest Festival arc after her resurrection? The world literally handed her a unique skill called Cook, Master Chef. At first, you're probably thinking, oh, thank God, the voice of the world took pity on everyone's stomachs. She's finally going to learn how to peel a potato or follow a simple recipe. But if you actually look at the mechanics of what that skill does, it has absolutely nothing to do with culinary school. She isn't learning how to chop onions like a pro, she is literally editing reality. It's insane. She's overriding the basic properties of matter just so her soup tastes okay. Look at her eyes in these scenes. She's just throwing in entire unpeeled vegetables, dirt and all, and she's deciding that this pile of charcoal is going to taste like a 5-star meal. And the universe just folds. She isn't improving the food. She is overriding the literal composition of reality because she's too stubborn to learn how to salt a soup properly. Wait, I just realized something. If you look at Shion's Master Chef and compare it to Rimuru's ultimate skill Beelzebub, things get actually wild. It's like a battle of quantity versus quality. Think about it. Rimuru's ultimate skill Beelzebub is the ultimate "I'll just eat it" button. He consumes entire armies, swallows magicules, and stores them in a stomach dimension. It's a vacuum cleaner for the laws of the world. But Shion's Master Chef, it's not about taking things out of the world, it's about forcing the world to change for her. If Rimuru eats a poisonous monster, he just gains a resistance. But if Shion cooks that same monster, she can literally force it to become a sweet, fluffy dessert without changing its shape. Rimuru manages the inventory of the world, but Shion is out here editing the source code. It's almost like Rimuru is the admin who can delete files, but Shion is the glitchy user who can change a file's extension from .exe to .mp3 just because she feels like it. It makes you wonder, if Rimuru ever tried to consume Shion's intent, would the two skills just cancel each other out, or would the universe just crash? Okay, things just got dark. Look at this interrogation scene with Clayman's subordinates. At first, it seems like a funny bit. You think, oh, funny, she's gonna make them eat her food until they talk. But look at what's actually happening. She's using her kitchen knife on a living person, and the voice of the world is practically validating it as optimal outcome manipulation. My skin was literally crawling when I first saw that. She isn't just being a bad cook here. She is experimenting with how her skill can process living things. Think about that. She is essentially cooking her enemies while they are still alive. She's changing their physical properties and editing their pain receptors like she's adjusting the seasoning in a broth. Does she even realize what she's doing? She's standing there with that innocent, bright smile, thinking she's just being a helpful secretary and a good chef. That is the scariest part of her character. She's a walking horror movie who genuinely believes she's in a lighthearted slice of life anime. Every time Rimuru sweats when she approaches with a spoon, it isn't just a gag for the audience. He has Raphael, so he can see the literal mana particles and the way the world is warping around her. He's probably looking at a reality-shifting field surrounding her pot and realizing that if she accidentally cooks him, even his max resistances or his own ultimate skills might not save him from being turned into a strawberry parfait. Can you imagine the great Rimuru being turned into a strawberry parfait because Shion got a little too creative? Actually, don't answer that. It's too terrifying to think about. But wait, it gets even crazier. If you've been keeping up with the power scaling, you know that skills eventually evolve. And when Shion's unique skill Cook finally evolves into an ultimate skill, it becomes Susanoo, the Tyrant Lord, or Lord of Violence. Now look at that name. We went from Master Chef to Tyrant Lord of Violence. That is the biggest 0 to 100 jump I have ever seen in an anime. But when you think about it, it actually makes perfect sense. What is a tyrant? Someone who forces their will on everyone else. And what has Shion been doing this whole time? She's been forcing her will on her ingredients, her friends' stomachs, and the literal laws of nature. When Susanoo kicks in, it's not even about food anymore. It's about causality. She can basically say, I don't care if your shield is unbreakable, I have decided that my sword has already cut you. It's the ultimate because I said so power. Comparing that to Rimuru's Beelzebub, Rimuru has to physically reach out and consume you. Shion just has to decide your outcome is different. In a weird way, Susanoo is the logical conclusion of her bad cooking. She spent so much time denying the reality that her food was terrible that the world eventually just gave up and gave her the power to deny reality itself on a cosmic scale. She's literally the most dangerous person in Tempest because she doesn't use logic. She uses absolute, unshakable stubbornness. Look at Benimaru and the Kijin. They're literally using Rimuru as a slime shield in these scenes. It's hilarious to watch them scramble, but it also shows you the true hierarchy of power in Tempest. These are some of the strongest beings in the Jura Forest. They would die for Rimuru in a heartbeat. They would charge into a wall of fire if he asked them to. But when the ladle comes out, it is every monster for themselves. No loyalty, no honor, just pure survival instinct. You can see the moment the loyalty just evaporates from their eyes. Rimuru is basically a walking hazmat container at this point. He has to use Beelzebub to just delete the food into his stomach dimension before it even touches his tongue. He's literally erasing her cooking from existence just to survive a dinner party. Think about the scale of that. If a guy who can consume entire armies and absorb the powers of gods is scared of your soup, you aren't just a bad cook. You are a walking extinction event. You can see the genuine panic in his face every time she says, Master Rimuru, try this new dish I made. It's like watching someone try to disarm a nuclear bomb with a toothpick while the person who made the bomb is standing right there cheering them on. Honestly, I used to think these scenes were just filler to break up the action, but seeing how characters like Hakuro or Geld react to her now, it's clearly way deeper than that. It's a constant reminder that in Rimuru's world, intent is everything. Shion's intent to be a good cook is so strong and so focused that the world literally had to break its own rules just to accommodate her. It's the power of absolute stubbornness turned into a reality-warping weapon. So next time you see that purple smoke coming out of the kitchen chimney in Tempest, don't just laugh. Realize you're watching a reality warper in training, and maybe take a moment to pray for the guys in the engineering department who have to fix the plumbing after she's done. Because if that food can melt through a legendary grade plate, I don't even want to know what it's doing to the pipes. I bet the logistics team has a special budget just for Shion-related structural damage. I can almost see the paperwork for one kitchen destroyed by an experimental omelet. It's just one of those things that makes the world of Tensura feel so alive. Even the gags have these massive implications if you look at them for too long. Shion isn't just a secretary, she's a walking catastrophe with a spatula. And I honestly think that's why Rimuru keeps her so close. It's better to have the reality warper on your side, even if it means you have to pretend to enjoy a bowl of glowing purple stew every once in a while. Do you think Shion actually knows she's rewriting the laws of causality every time she picks up a knife? Or is she genuinely just trying her best with a cookbook she's probably reading upside down?